Welcome back to Singing in Cuba, your go-to channel for fascinating coin stories and values. Today, we're diving into the history and value of the 1965 USA quarter dollar. If you've got one sitting in your collection, you're in for a treat. The 1965 quarter dollar is a coin with a unique place in American coinage: the transition away from silver to a copper-nickel composition. Let's rewind to 1965. This was the first year the U.S. Mint produced quarters without any silver content. Why? Well, a silver shortage was looming and the government decided to save silver for other uses. Before 1965, quarters contained 90% silver and 10% copper. But starting in 1965, quarters were made of a copper core with a copper-nickel outer layer. This change made the coin more affordable to produce and circulate. Now let's talk design. The 1965 quarter features the same design as earlier quarters, a profile of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. On the reverse, we have the classic eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. This iconic design stayed in use until the State Quarters series began in 1999. Over 1.8 billion 1965 coin, it was struck in large quantities at all three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the twist. In 1965, no mint marks were used. Since there are no mint marks on these quarters, you can't tell which mint produced your coin. That adds a bit of mystery but doesn't increase the value. All right, the part you've been waiting for. The value of quarters can be measured on many different ways, but in siculated condition is typically worth just its face value, 25 cents. That's because it doesn't contain silver, and it's not rare enough to fetch a premium in most cases. However, uncirculated or mint state examples can sell for $5 to $15, depending on their grade and condition. But don't lose hope just yet. There are some rare error coins from 1965 that are worth a lot more. One of the most sought-after errors is the 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchette instead of the new copper-nickel one. These are extremely rare and can sell for thousands of dollars. If you suspect you have a 1965 quarter that sounds different when dropped or feels heavier, it might be struck on a silver planchette. Be sure to have it checked by an expert to find out what's happening. Once you have it, there are three very simple quarters that, if you understand this science, will make you rich. They're a fascinating piece of numismatic history and a must-have for IQ, a unique and transformative place in U.S. coinage history, as it marked a critical change in the materials used to mint American coins. Here's a detailed look at its history. By the early 1960s, the price of silver began to rise significantly, creating a shortage of the metal. This led to a crisis where the intrinsic value of silver coins exceeded their face value, prompting widespread hoarding of silver coins by the public. To address the crisis and ensure there were enough coins in circulation, the Coinage Act of 1965 was passed. This legislation authorized the removal of silver from dimes and quarters, replacing it with a more affordable copper-nickel composition. The act also temporarily suspended the use of mint marks to prevent hoarding based on mint location, which is why all 1965 quarters lack a mint mark. Starting in 1965, quarters were made with a copper core and a copper-nickel outer layer, a composition that remains in use for most U.S. coins today. This change made the coin cheaper to produce and ensured that the government could meet the public demand for circulating currency. Despite the change in composition, the design of the quarter remained the same. Features a left-facing profile of George Washington, designed by 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. The inscriptions include "Liberty, in God we trust," in the year 1965. Displays an eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. The design symbolizes strength and peace. The inscription, "United States of America," arches along the top, with quarter dollar at the bottom. The U.S. Mint produced over 1.8 billion quarters in 1965 to address the coin shortage, a staggering number at the time. These coins were struck at multiple mints, but due to the Coinage Act, no mint marks were used. The public initially reacted with skepticism to the new copper-nickel coins. Many preferred the old silver coins for their intrinsic value and perceived prestige. However, the practicality and wide availability of the new coins soon led to their acceptance. The 1965 quarter is significant because it represents the modernization of U.S. coinage. It set the stage for the coins we use today, balancing durability, cost, and functionality in everyday transactions. Let me know if you'd like this tailored further or expanded. In the words of Sam Sutherland, from Thank You to You, today we're diving into the world of U.S. coins. In this video, we'll be looking at the USA 1983 quarter dollar, its circulated value, and some interesting facts about it. So if you're a coin collector or just curious about the 1983 quarter, stay tuned. First, let's take a look at the 1983 quarter. This coin is part of the Washington Quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. The obverse shows a profile of George Washington, and the reverse features an eagle perched on a branch with the words Yin Fest, Yin Vitu, Yin Pleris, Yolum, Oteri, Yin Bingnens. The verse features a nice picture of American liberty. Now, let's talk about its value in circulation. For most of us, a 1983 quarter dollar is worth exactly 25 cents, or a quarter. However, its value can vary depending on its condition and rarity. For example, if you find a well-worn 1983 quarter in your pocket change, it's likely to be worth just its face value of 25 cents. Meanwhile, the value of your quarter is little more than its face value when it's close to reaching its face value before it breaks down into it. But if you happen to come across one in a higher grade, like uncirculated or proof, it could be worth more to collectors. In 1983, the U.S. Mint produced around 650 million quarters, so it's not considered a rare year for the coin. However, a D mint mark from Denver or an S mint mark from San Francisco could add some premium value if found in uncirculated or your pocket change today. While most won't have any special value beyond 25 cents, if you're lucky, you might stumble upon one in pristine condition or one with a unique characteristic that could make it more valuable to collectors. The Washington Quarter was first minted in honor of George Washington's 200th birthday. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin featured the profile of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The Washington Quarter remained largely unchanged for decades. The obverse featured the profile of Washington, and the reverse showed an eagle in flight perched on an olive branch. The reverse of the quarter underwent a major change when the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, celebrating each state with a unique design. The design continued evolving with the America the Beautiful Quarters program, honoring national parks and historic sites across the country. In 1983, the U.S. Mint produced millions of quarters across its various mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. That year, over 650 million quarters were produced, making it a common coin found in circulation. The 1983 quarter continued though the 1983 quarter wasn't issued as a regular coin from the San Francisco Mint, the Mint produced special proof sets that year with an S Mint mark. In circulation, a 1983 quarter is typically worth only 25 cents. However, because of its age, collectors may seek it out for their collections, especially in higher grades such as uncirculated or proof coins. The 1983 quarter is not considered rare, as a large quantity was minted. However, the value of these coins can rise slightly if they are in pristine, uncirculated condition. The Washington Quarter is the second longest running coin design in U.S. history, after the Lincoln Cent. The 1983 quarter was minted during a time of economic changes in the U.S., as the country was recovering from the early 1980s recession. While the 1983 quarter dollar is not rare or highly valuable, it remains a key part of American numismatic history, being a regular part of pocket change for many years and still circulating today. So, what do you think? Have you ever come across a 1983 quarter dollar in your collection or in change? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin content here on Thanks for watching. and I'll see you in the next video.